Hello people, Society Lee here, bringing you another gameplay commentary. So this was a game I played with four of my buddies. Oh no, three of my buddies. Mr. Felomir on Yorick, top lane, Neon Chinchilla playing support Nunu, and Shaco Jungle from French People Suck 516. So we decide to go ahead and take double golems. Shaco doesn't need a leash on red or anything like that. If you didn't know, Shacos never need a leash. The boxes do like 90% of the heavy lifting as far as starting the jungle off. This is it's an okay game. I'm gonna spoil it for you. We lose. And this is gonna be sort of a gameplay analysis of why I lost and what me or any of my teammates could have done better. So if you play AD carry, and you may want to pick up a few things, stay tuned. So me and Neon here go ahead and take the double golems. He takes quite a bit of damage. Normally you would juggle the aggro between your support and your AD, but in this case he just decides to go ahead and tank the entire thing because he's got consume and health potions, so he's not going to have any problem going ahead and getting back up to full health. So heading into lane, I think I missed one creep here at the beginning. Maybe nope, I'm there in time. So among the many things we're fighting Corky Tarek here, which normally would be a very scary lane. And I do end up dying a few times here, but you'll notice that the Tarek is really passive. Like he's not fishing for opportunities to land that dazzle like he should be, and I really think that hurts him. I honestly think if they had played it right, Corky Tarek could shut us down pretty well, especially since I'm not. My goal is always to just farm. Maybe it's not particularly exciting to watch, but that's how I win games. Most of the time, I end up carrying. I'm not saying most of the time I end up carrying. I do carry often, but when I do carry, it's almost always because I just have way more CS than my lane opponent. Either because I denied them, or we got a kill, or I'm just better at last hitting. I end up getting, it's not that hard to get, at least in my elo, it's not that hard to get, a 30 CS advantage, a 40, a 50 CS advantage, especially if you're shutting the enemy down. It's not hard to get that, and I mean that's, you don't actually have to take a huge risk and land kills, but you still end up, 50 CS is, almost 3 kills worth of minions on average, at least. So yeah, I mean it's just the smarter option most of the time. Yeah, as you can see, I'm running up, just really poking the Tarek, and he's not even attempting to dazzle me, even though we're right next to tower, right next to their tower. So I'm not really sure. I don't think the Tarek was the greatest, to be honest. The Corky was okay. He doesn't seem that great in lane. He actually plays very passively. Lets me get just plenty of poke on him. And it's not because Varus' range is longer. I think they have the exact same range, or maybe Corky just slightly lower, like 10 lower or 25 range, range lower. But maybe he was waiting to get the dazzle off. I'm not sure. Ooh, this is a big cannon creep there. It sucks when I die. I get frustrated when I die, but I really get frustrated when I miss the cannon creep. It drives me insane. I hate it. So most of the time, if I'm playing Vayne or Ashe, I just use a volley or a tumble. It's worth the it's worth that mana, in my opinion, to net that kill for sure.
Until we went back, somebody come to shit.
So Mumu coming in for a gank here. We just run into the bush, and Tarek, I believe he could have shattered right there. He just didn't. I'm not sure what's going on. We got Shaco coming in here for a gank. French people. And nothing's gonna happen here. I mean, Tarek's tanky. They're already heading back to their tower, and Corky's got Valkyrie, so nothing much gonna take place there. So I'm going back to last hitting. And here's a tip for if you didn't know. A good way, if you're trying to push the lane like I am, I'm trying to shove the lane in because I'm just, I'm not necessarily trying to play aggressively, I'm just poking when I know, or when I'm fairly sure that they're not going to retaliate. And as a result, we've gotten, a bit of advantage. Nunu, the Blood Boil is really strong. So it's really hard to trade with, if you can blow them up like Corky Tarek can and should have done in this lane, but if you can't blow them up, it's really hard to trade with the Nunu support, just because the snowball does decent damage. If you're playing with a melee support like Tarek, it's really hard for the support to actually get on your carry just because he moves so slowly. But in this case, I'm trying to push the lane. And I'm not sure what, how skillful my small viewership is at the moment, but one tip, if you're trying to push the lane, don't try to weave in auto attacks on the melee creeps that are already getting hit. Go ahead and just push, put a couple auto attacks on the back wave minions, whichever ones aren't being focused, and it makes it really easy to not have to worry about timing those hits perfectly to push your lane. You can just attack minions that don't have aggro. It's a subtlety that it may not seem like a big deal, but it really does. Over the course of a game, I miss creeps that way by attacking melee creeps that are already getting hit all the time because they'll change aggro and you end up just doing, sometimes you get a crit and it's just not a good idea to attack minions that are already getting hit by other minions if you can help it. So yeah, that's a subtlety that it helps a lot. You may not think that you would miss that many minions not doing that little trick, but you really will. It makes a substantial difference. So far, no major mistakes. I think at this point, I'm not sure when I'll pull up the scoreboard. I think at this point I was about 20 CS ahead of the Corky, just because if you're in a position to shove the enemy lane this early in the game, then they're almost certainly going to miss some last hits because they have either boots and potions, or one door ends, which. With one door ends, depending on your runes and masteries, if you have if you have full armor pin and a door ends at the first few levels, you're not going to be able to last hit the creeps at the tower very well. If you didn't know, the pattern for last hitting at a tower is for melee creeps you let the tower hit it twice and then you finish it off for the last hit. For ranged creeps, you hit it once. Let the tower hit it once and then finish it off. But if you have full armor pin and you go boots, you're gonna have very low, very low AD in the beginning of the game, such that you can't actually pull up for the melee. I mean, for the range creeps, it doesn't work. You need to use some extra ability like a misfortune double up or Varus's Q, for example, something else that you can do to put that last little bit of damage on. So Amumu coming in here, you will see this Amumu does so much work this game, it is ridiculous. I mean, he absolutely just destroys. He is wrecking people. Yeah, just shoving the lane here. Yeah, Corky's out of lane. I should actually be pushing. See the little top caster minion there? I could have been pressuring that. Oh no, he's back anyway. But and we're getting jumped on here, and I think this is my first death of this game. Yep, get ignited, and now I'll go down. That wasn't the worst death because we do trade. We do trade 1-for-1. Unfortunately, I die first, so Nunu ends up getting the kill. And that's obviously going to be less gold for me.
So take.
So I go back. I for some reason, and this was a really it's a really unintelligent choice on my part. I should not have gone back and picked up a BF sword in this case. I'm very, very squishy, and you'll see that comes back to bite me multiple times in the next few minutes. I mean, it's okay to have that damage, but really, your your only goal in the beginning of the game is to just farm for an AD carry. Your goal is to farm. I mean, if you can get kills, fine, but the one thing that has to happen no matter what is you have to have a really high CS score if you want to be a good AD carry. And I don't really need that much damage with, I don't need a BF sword's worth of damage to farm effectively. What I do need is survivability to not really have to worry so much about Corki coming up and hitting me with one of those missiles. I need the survivability to live through a Taric stun and continue farming, because obviously if I'm dead I can't be farming creeps. So yeah, what I should have done instead of, how much money is that? I went back and picked up a BF sword and boots. So 1600 gold. I could have gone back, got my Zerk Greaves, a second door ends, and a Vamp Scepter. And that I think would have been a far superior choice in this lane. I mean, I would have had slightly less damage, but you can see I'm just taking so much damage from this Corki. And once again, we trade. You're gonna see just this, because I'll be totally honest with you. This was a very, very, very poor game from team fight perspective and trading perspective. It's just not the greatest. But I still thought it was an interesting game. Oh, another spoiler: the last like 3-4 minutes or so of this game had to get cut off. For some reason, my fraps started just going nuts. I went down to like 10 FPS. It was horrible. But this game is not the greatest from a gameplay, like a team fight perspective and a trading perspective. It's just I'm way too just not sharp. I'm not maintaining the proper range and positioning myself the right way so that I don't get absolutely destroyed by an Amumu ultimate. Which is hard considering that Amumu is going to be right in the center of the fight, and his ult is the same range as like most AD carries auto attacks, so I forgive myself a little bit for that, but I mean, people get by without getting Amumu stunned. It just didn't seem like we had, with this team, Yorick as a top laner and Nunu as a support was a fail pick in my opinion. One of them should have changed, because we have essentially no initiation at all. Like, if we catch somebody out, what are we going to do? We're going to slow them with Yorick? That's about it. or a slow from Nunu. We need like a Malphite top, or a Rengar top, or I don't know, an Udyr. Somebody that can just lock somebody down for just a little bit so that we can start wailing on them. Because that's ultimately, I think, part of what really cost us this game. Along with just bad general decisions as a team, we choose the wrong objectives a few times, and we give up a free Baron. Well, not a free Baron, but we do give up a Baron. And the fact that we just have no initiation really screwed us, because we just kept getting, somebody would get bandage tossed, and then Amumu would ult, and then it would just be Lux Laser, and I got instantly destroyed in about 3 of these team fights. I just melted completely. Here you see me in chat complaining that I've had a really bad streak lately of, you can see my farm, I'm at 100. The only person ahead of me is, I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Katarina, maybe. Was it 101? But I'm complaining about the fact that every single game that I've been playing lately, I took a break for about a month and a half to go play WoW, which I'll probably be uploading some WoW gameplay if you're interested in that. I took like a break for like a month and a half, 2 months to just go play WoW. I played like 1 or 2 league games here and there, but it was never on an AD carry, and it was always like, you know, late at night, and I wasn't really trying that much. It was just for kicks. um, but yeah, and since I've come back, I've noticed I've just completely lost my sense of positioning, like my sense of where it's safe to stand in a team fight and where it's not safe to stand in a team fight. And it's really costing me. And I mean, in a team fight or in lane, obviously, I consider a 2v2 bot lane a team fight. But yeah, I've still got my CSing down pretty much, but my yeah, just I feel like I'm kind of maybe beating a dead horse here a little bit, but just I don't know the right times to go in, because you obviously you can't be on the front line as an AD carry. You have to allow some of these ultimates and initiation tools from the enemy team to go ahead and get used on your Nunus and your Yoriks. They have to go in and take the brunt of the damage, and you have to go in afterwards. You can't just be right in the front or, you know, anywhere close to the front. You have to come into the fight a couple seconds late most of the time. Because if you don't, they're just gonna see you and say, oh, okay, well, I was gonna initiate on this Yorick, but since you're here, I'm gonna flash Maokai root you, or bandage toss, or you name it, any of the bazillion different initiation tools from tanky DPS. Looks like my support's going man mode top lane, gonna try to pick up that Katarina. And our Katarina, who I really, if by some you know, strange turn of events this Katarina finds my videos, F you, dude. Just go die and like stop playing League. I don't like you. And you'll see why in a minute. Well, throughout the course of this game, it's not one incident. No, it may have already happened. Essentially, Katarina just decides to come bot lane for a what looks like was supposed to be a gank, but we were shoving our lane so the Corki would lose CS to the tower. So she just decides to walk up right through the middle of the lane. She wasn't going for a bush gank or anything. She sits in the bush for a minute, waits for the next minion wave to come up, completely destroys it all, and then I missed like 10 creeps on the, you know, between the two waves that she just came up and just like stole. She's got plenty of minions in her own fucking lane. I don't know, that just drives me nuts. Because she just had no reason for being there, and she just has that generally bad attitude later in the game. You can see this, the Lux lasers are starting to hit pretty hard there. She is, you'll see she does some work this game too. She is not playing around. You know, going back, farming. I see the Nunu coming in. We're gonna try to get him down. I throw a. See, in this, oh, this pissed me off so bad. Why? That is one mistake. You are an idiot, society. Stop it. Stop doing things like that. Stop going back in for a kill when you're at 150 health. At least wait till he's really, really low, and you can kill him with one auto attack. That was I feel like that right there was my worst mistake of this game. Was just walking back in for no reason at all. I basically just gave him a free kill, and to be totally honest, I'm surprised at the patience of my support in this game, because he has seen me do some really stupid things. I'm on borrowed time. Corki complaining about his support, which I'd probably agree with him, to be honest. That Tarek really didn't do much of anything in lane. I mean, he landed one stun that resulted in a kill, I think, but not exactly doing a ton of work. So picking up a red buff here, really good guy Shaco coming in, throwing me down a shiv and a spite. And I'm signaling for us to take dragon. And my Shaco player, we're all on Skype, by the way. My Shaco player is like, I was like, dude, let's get dragon, man. And he's like, dude, just spawn. So yeah, cool story from moving along.
No.
So picking up dragon. I think we go and try to gank this Corki here. I'm not sure. I can't remember how this turns. Oh, and Tarek's in the brush. And I go ahead and exhaust him in the new ultimate. And of course Katarina comes in and takes the kill.
Dude, he outplayed us.
It wouldn't have been a problem that she had the number of kills that she had this game, but you'll see in a lot of these team fights that she is just not doing anything. She puts most of her damage on like Tarek or Amumu. Like their Corki and Lux did a ton of work there. You can see that's my that's what missing ultimates like that is the result of me just starting to play Smartcast on a champion that I'm not like really familiar with the ranges on. And yeah, I mean, you lose. I think I missed like 2 or 3 ultimates this game. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's not as bad on Varus just because his ult's a pretty short cooldown, like 90 seconds. So too bad. It's not like a Karthus ultimate where you're waiting for like 3 minutes for that thing to come up. And I spend such a large portion of the game farming that I mean most of the time it's up. Most of the time it's up by the next time I need it. And as you can see at this point, I have 0 kills and 5 deaths. 0 kills, 5 deaths. If that was the only information that you knew, you would assume that I was just a terrible player, and you know, maybe I am. But you can also see that I have the highest CS in the game, bar Katarina, who came in and stole like 10 of mine. So I'm top CS in the game. And you'll notice that I mean I have Corki's got more kills than I do, and I have more items than he does. So yeah, farming's good. Farming lets you get consistent money, and I think we've covered enough on being good at last hitting. You need to work on that if you suck at it.
That was so good, dude. I was gonna finish off your area.
So it looks like battle of the supports here, bot lane.
Which then focused me and killed me in like 2 hits.
My purpose is clear.
Corgi deciding to go mid. And just leave Tarek there to you know, do what he can. I decided to go ahead and back off here because Tarek was full health, and Corki and Tarek could pretty much instantly kill me right now. And I'm 0-5 at this point. I'm getting very, very frustrated. I'm sure everybody is familiar with that feeling where you feel like you don't honestly feel like you're playing that poorly, which in this case I think I was playing pretty poorly. As far as fighting the enemy team's concerned, I'm farming well, but I haven't really done anything for my team as far as helping them out and getting kills and carrying this game thus far. But you had those games where you feel like you're not playing that poorly, but your score sucks, and it reflects really badly on you. And nobody likes to look bad.
That is not good.
So at this point, this was really funny. Obviously, the Lux was staring at the team fight and had just right-clicked. So I just follow her out there and go ahead and promptly destroy her face. So here you can see I get 544 from that Lux. And oh, and I can't remember if I go down here. Nope, I don't. Clutch damage coming in from everybody else, and I pick up that kill too. So now you can see my farming from early game is starting to pay off. If I had been farming like crap and died and gone 0-5, I would have like a BF sword right now and a Zeal, or like 2 door ends, a BF sword, a pickaxe or something. I wouldn't have an Infinity Edge and a Zeal and a door ends. So yeah, and you'll see I go on a bit of a spree here where I start getting where I finally start pulling my weight, in the team fights and stuff. So I'm gonna go back, pick up the Phantom Dancer, and
An ally has been slain.
I think I tried to head bot now to help with the turret. Maybe? Nope. Head mid. Maybe no, yeah, there we go. Now you see I realize it. And Yorick doing some work. Bot lane. I think he gave Corki a kill though, which is never good because good Corkis can be very, very scary. I don't personally like him. I absolutely freaking hate Corki. Like, I think he's just a... I think he's hilarious. Like, I like his model and like his emotes and stuff, but like I hate playing him. I think his skill set is just annoying and retarded. For an AD carry anyway. Like if he was like a bruiser or something and that was the way he was played, then fine. But like, I prefer my AD carries to be auto attack champions, except for Ezreal. Ezreal gets a pass because he's OP as shit right now.
No way.
So here I am going to help out, throw an ultimate down on the Amumu, start wailing on him, and just go ahead and toss one auto attack to Lux, last hit her. Shoot a Q into the brush, pick up Amumu, and I'm gonna head down for this Taric now. And I got my slow. I'm gonna put that in front of him, and I made sure to already have my I could have slowed him in the river, but you'll notice that I didn't want to. There was no reason for me to try to slow him in the river and drop one of my abilities on him, because if you didn't know with Varus, his right now I checked the stats on it. I think maybe just after or just before me saying this now. His passive is that he drops blighted stacks. His W drops stacks of blight on the enemy, and his abilities pop it. And every time for each blight stack, they take a percentage of their total health. I think it's 5%. So you want to make sure that you've got, if you can help it in a team fight or in situations like just there where you just want to kill somebody. You want to, unless you need it for some other reason, like to save a carry, you know, say your AP gets jumped and you have to throw it on a slow to keep them from getting to them, that's fine. But if you can help it from a damage perspective, you always want to wait and throw that down as late as possible. So that's what I did there. I just went ahead, because it also benefits you, because maybe if I threw the slowdown in front of Taric there in the river, he wouldn't go back towards his turret. Maybe he decides to go down to the tri brush, or you know, head back the other direction. Probably not, considering that we had like 3 people there. But it would, in all situations, what I did there is better than putting it in the river, because it allowed me to get my 3 stacks of blight up, which brought him down faster. And he was already on that little ramp heading up. He was another missed ultimate there from me. That's smart cast for you. Oh yeah. He was already somewhat committed to going up the ramp at that point, so he wasn't going to turn around. And he couldn't really avoid it, because the width of the E is about the same width as the ramp. So you see here I'm at 6 and 5 now, and I'm at 28 minutes, 211 creeps, and I've got my I've got Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and a second BF sword built up. So I'm hitting with Nunu Blood Boil. I'm hitting very hard right now, very hard. I really actually liked. I'm gonna see if I can get Dion to play some more Nunu support. I really like Nunu support. I think I'm gonna get him to go Nunu Kog'Maw. Nunu Kog'Maw is ridiculous, because Kog'Maw already hits hard with his E-pops. It basically makes it where it's like almost impossible to trade with him, because he hits. I think his auto attacks hit pretty much harder than any other ADs in the game at that level. Maybe Vayne could give him a run for his money, but probably not. And yeah, so you're basically speeding up the best auto attack in the game. You can't really trade with that unless you're just gonna burst him down. So yeah, I have the Devil's score 666. I felt that was important to point out. And Nunu decides to say, "Shut up, Mig." So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
We all apparently everybody thinks it's funny. We were laughing about it on Skype. Oh, but random tangent. I mentioned this in the game. I'm pretty sure my favorite Meg scene. Maybe okay. There's two Meg scenes that I think are the funniest. One is when she has an 8-pack of hot dogs and she goes, "I'm gonna pretend you're the New York Knicks." That one's pretty good. And the second one after that, my favorite is when Peter is chasing her around butt first, like backing up, like chasing her with his ass, and just like farting at her, and like chases her out, and then she falls over and pukes, and he's like, "Oh, in the house, Meg." And like, yeah, if you haven't seen that, go look it up. And we're back to the gameplay. So yeah, just farming. At this point, to be honest, yeah, you can see that with we've got teammates start to sort of go around near the Baron area there. So I need to not be bottom lane, and Katarina needs to not be bottom lane, because at this point, the only people there are Yorick, Nunu. We've got a top laner, a jungler, and a support guarding our blue buff. We have neither of our carries. So I said blue buff? No, a Baron. They could have definitely pressured it, and I don't think we could have gotten there in time. Here's another death. You can see just another instance of me just not paying attention at all. If I had taken all this money, like that I had gotten from, because almost none of my kills this game, almost none of my deaths this game were deaths that like I traded, like me and somebody else traded. Obviously, Nunu picked up, finished off some damage that I did on Corki early game, but. Almost none of these are like, okay, I died, but I almost got a kill. Like that one on Corgi, I just got destroyed. Like it wasn't even close. I mean, he had teammates right there. None of these kills are like close. So if I had cut out all these instances, like, my point there was that most of the kills that I got were not kills that I got when I was about to die. So most of my deaths are just senseless deaths that I could have just completely avoided. I mean, imagine if I had cut out, because also I've been getting the first 5 kills I was worth progressively less gold, but the last 2 deaths I was worth pretty much full gold because I had gotten kills between them. If you took out all the money that I had fed from senseless deaths, I'm pretty convinced we could have won this game, because nobody on their team would have been hitting nearly as hard. The Corki would have been pretty irrelevant. I mean, considering I don't know when I bring up the score screen again, but his damage is pretty irrelevant. So, I'm going to stop here. We go into try to stop this Baron attempt, and it doesn't work out for us. And I think I pick up a Mumu here. No. Yorick goes ahead and picks up the move. But I mean, it wasn't a bad fight. We went ahead and took the buffs off pretty much all the important people on the enemy team. I mean, they still get all the extra money, but I mean, they get what's Baron 1500 plus whatever like insignificant amount you get from actually killing the Baron. So 1500, but we've gotten 2 dragons. So, aside from kills, I think we're about even on total gold, except for the fact that we're up by 2 turrets. So yeah, I mean, that was a good trade. I mean, it's kind of foolish of Corki to be there, and maybe not. I mean, he had his full team with him. I guess he just didn't expect us to have the balls to just like run in there and kill them, because that happens a lot. A lot of times in my elo of play, around like 1400, 1350-ish, you see people not taking advantage of, we knew Corki was low. We could see his health bar from the minimap. So we knew that we could make something happen there. I'm pretty fed at this point. I'm putting on quite a bit of damage. So I knew that I could do something there. I could at least walk in, trade 1 for 1 after they got Baron, or potentially steal it. So regardless of if I died, I was going to kill that Corki. No question about it. Oh, and here's another senseless death. I decided to just chill out right next to like all 5 of them. So yeah, those are the kind of deaths that I need to cut out. I just need to stop making stupid decisions. Which, I mean, it sounds like, yeah, well, I'll never make any stupid decisions and I'll always win everything, ever. But, you know, whatever. It's my channel, bro. Don't try to come at me. So I think for our mistake there, I basically, I cost us an inhibitor right here. Because if I hadn't been dead, we could have definitely fended them off. Because, I mean, Yorick went in and died after he saw that I was getting jumped. And Katarina is just, I mean, she's not doing shit this game. So, I mean, but everybody else is up and around and, like, waiting to stop them. But they can't go in 3v5 just because they don't really have any damage. I mean, Katarina does okay damage, but, I mean, with a Moo Moo bandage sauce and everything, like, she's not gonna wipe a whole team. Like, Varus could. So yeah, I basically cost. I'm pretty convinced that between me and this Katarina, we were pretty much the majority of the reason why we lost this fight. I mean this match. So we're chasing Tarek here. It's a very, very long chase. It's almost just like chases that are this long, and I just kind of wish they didn't even have to happen. For some reason, you ever notice, like, look how, like, I'm moving as quickly as everybody else, but I'm running in slow motion. Varus is the king. Oh, well, I do burn a flash. We don't get to kill, but burn a flash is okay. That's gonna eliminate a flash dazzle. That sounds like some kind of weird, like, 80s pop band, flash dazzle. Anyway. I'm pretty sure I completely lost my train of thought. I mean, once you say flash dazzle, it's pretty much over for that, whatever you were trying to say. So, we could have pushed the turret there. I was talking on Skype with my buddy, and he was saying, well, why didn't you all just go push that turret? Which is a valid question, because Yorick's got Chain Vest and I think a Trinity Force. He's pretty tanky. He's not like incredibly tanky, but he's tanky enough to sit there and eat some tower shots while I kill a turret. So we could have gotten their mid turret there, probably. But I decided that it was more important for me to get like the 300 gold from all those minions there and save our top turret, which ends up going down here anyway. Sorry, getting some ice here. So we're walking up here. See Shaco trying to make something happen. Doesn't work out for him, and then a Moo Moo comes in and ulti. And you'll see that's the case with a lot of. Okay, so you see a Moo Moo ults me, Aurelia jumps on me and ults me, and I get out. And then you'll see the, I decided to hang around, see if there's anything else I can do. Maybe I can drop a slow, help somebody get away. It's risky, but, maybe the executive switches to do that, because I'm an executive. And, so yeah, I got ulted by a Moo Moo and Aurelia with nobody stopping them. And I still managed to get a kill. And the only reason why I died is you see me freaking out with the mouse cursor. I'm just being like, fucking Corky! God damn it! And the only reason why I died was because Corky came in from the side and was just like, I'm being Corky. And then the cat's like, oh my god, Varus. You're so bad. And I promptly decide to, like, try to verbally crucify him, because at this point, he really took me off the beginning coming into my lane and, like, just eating up farm for really no discernible reason. Like, other than just like, I want this farm, so yeah. And yeah, I don't take kindly to people just being dicks for the sake of being dicks. Like, he wasn't, I don't know. Anyway, moving along. Not a whole lot to talk about now. I'm dead currently, waiting for these, waiting to respawn. What did I say to him? I ran out ulted. No one's stopped. Oh yeah, that's another point that I wanted to bring up in this
That's
commentary. One thing that I noticed doesn't happen a lot at my ELO in particular anyway. Like, say you have a team of, we'll say Malphite, Alistar, and an AD carry. The other two are irrelevant. Oftentimes what you'll see is you have the Alistar and the Malphite run in and ult their tanks. You know, you got Malphite is going to use his ult. Alistar hits a headbutt pole on their tanks. And then they get CC'd for a while. Their tanks go down to half health. And then they just completely jump and swarm the AD carry. Rather than the Alistar just chilling out for a little bit. Hanging out by Varus. And as soon as an Aurelia jumps on him, he just headbutt pulls her away. Or, I guess, pulverized headbutts away.
There is no salvation.
I don't think people appreciate the fact that if you can protect the AD carry, at this point I'm at 306. Later on in the game, I think I'm at 402 AD with like almost max attack speed. If I don't die in a team fight, they're going to lose. No question about it. I mean, I can kill a Mumu in like 7 or 8 auto attacks, which happen very, very quickly. So if I don't get blown up, we win. GG. It's over. So, one thing that I really wish would happen a lot more is, for one, I wish I would position myself better so that I don't have to rely on my teammates to, you know, throw down a Malphite ultimate or a headbutt pole and keep the enemy team off of me. I wish my positioning was better and that I was a better player. But past that, I wish that people at my ELO understood the fact that you have to protect. You not only need to engage on the enemy, but you need to protect your squishies as well. That happens far, far less than people getting a good initiate. And when it does, I notice it, and I always try to, like, you know, commend whoever did it. So yeah, oh, by the way, if you hear the, you know, me lighting something in the background, it's a cigarette. I'm not smoking pot. Not that I have anything against pot. I've smoked it for a long time, but not a long time, 2 years. But yeah, anyway, I just didn't want people to be like, "Oh, you're smoking drugs in your videos and stuff."
I do what I
So
must.
I'm picking up the blue buff. Throw a little damage on Corky. Go ahead and try to spook him. And you see, like, that's the initiate. That's a perfect example right there. That's a perfect example of what Nunu Yorick initiate brings to the table. It brings to the table them walking in and slowing them. And a Mumu initiate has giant AoE stun. And at this point, this is a perfect example of them not protecting the carry. A Mumu just, I mean, what's his name? Nunu just goes ahead and runs away, which is understandable. He's very, very low. And Shaco was getting the Baron, which is obviously more important. Even if I did die, Baron's more important. But he runs away, which is understandable. But he could have maybe thrown a snowball. I mean, it would have been risky, so I wouldn't be like, "Oh, dude, why didn't you protect me?" But that's the kind of situation where I just had to blow Flash, you know, this late in the game, because I didn't have any support there. And I know maybe that I realize that this commentary maybe sounds a lot like, "Oh well, it's everybody else's job to make me win," which is not the case. Believe me, I blame myself for my own mistakes a lot more than I blame other people, on average, for sure. I mean, I take, and one thing I do actually do is, like, take full responsibility for when I'm failing and when I don't position myself right, and I don't feel the need to let my teammates know, especially if they're not like teammates that I know or that I'm gonna be playing with again. I don't feel the need to just be like, "Oh well, you suck. Protect me better. Do things better." Like, that's not gonna help. If you want to help somebody, then tell them how to do it better. Don't just say you suck or you're bad at that. All that does is make people pissed off. and it makes them frustrated and have no sense of team camaraderie, which, believe it or not, actually does help a lot. If you you like your teammates, and even if you're losing, if you're liking your teammates, you get along with them, and you congratulate each other on doing something well, then your chances of success go up a lot. I'm not sure if you could get statistics on that, but I guarantee you that's true. So, pick up Tarek here, I believe. Yeah, go ahead and get the kill on him. Yeah, and look, you'll notice right here. Alright, so the left side is pushing. There's creeps at that tower already. And there's no creeps at this tower. We walk up to the tower, and it starts attacking us. And then we leave and go to the other lane. Those creeps are dead, and these creeps in this lane are walking forward. At this point, I was just like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, just stay at one tower. Come on. Come on. Like, we could have put a lot of damage on that bot tower. Maybe even taken it. Probably not, just because that movement was there, and I'm pretty sure his ulti's up, so chances are wouldn't let that happen, but it was just, I just thought it was kind of funny.
Bloodshed carries a price.
So, yeah, this is, I believe the video is gonna come. Oh yeah, I'm getting ticked off at Katarina for just going, like, we're going to push this turret, and Katarina just decides to go top lane to farm like 8 creeps. It wasn't even like a big minion wave, it was just like a few. And this was after, like, she spent the game telling me that I needed to, like, get there. So we get promptly destroyed. And I think you can see that after a team fight like that this late in the game, chances are you're not going to do very well. So they're going to go and they're going to kill our inhibitor. And you can see here there's a lot of frame rate dips, but that's okay. Just don't pay attention to the gameplay. I just had a couple things I wanted to say. If you are subscribed to me already, awesome. I really appreciate it. I like getting subscribers. I'm really enjoying putting these commentaries up, and I've had only like a couple people comment on my videos so far, and I really appreciate it. Like, I was very excited when I finally had a comment, and I was. Anywho, my moral of the story here is